We're back.
It's always a surprise.
What, that we woke up this morning?
Well, at our age, yes.
Yeah, your age, sure.
Well, and also your age, you're pushing it
Pushing you off a cliff.
in a wheelchair.
Dignitas. It feels like it's been a little while.
I think
I
it's
suppose
been a couple of weeks.
I suppose, I had a holiday and then didn't watch the shows on the flight because the flight was stressful. So, yeah. But now we're back and we're ready. We got two shows that we've just learned basically can't remember what happened in one and or both of them either.
Yeah, so the issue is, because I watched these a week ago for the original recording date.
All right, calm down.
And then someone made me drink a lot, and now...
I didn't make you drink a lot. I just bought 30 to 40 cans of French lager, and away we went.
Yeah, and then I had some of that, and then I went to the shop and I bought more.
You did, which I've just finished one of yours, your
Nice.
Roni that you left, so thanks very much for that. I've had 2 of your orange ciders already.
Well, there was only 2 left to drink, because I had...
Do you know what? I find I either really fancy... So these are the Thatcher's Blood Orange thing.
Yeah.
I either really want one, or I'm sort of forcing my way through it. I'm never just like, yeah, this is very pleasant. I'm either like, oh my god, this is the tastiest thing ever, which is what I was doing when I was playing Bloodborne earlier. And, yeah, so the 2 of them disappeared. They're amazing. But then other times I've had it, and I'm like, nah, I ain't all that.
I think it's the difference between, like... Because I find I don't really like it if it's super cold.
Oh, no, see, I think that's the key for me, is like the colder the better. This is why I want to develop some sort of technology where you can drink any sort of drink at the temperature of about minus 25 degrees Celsius, but it stays in its liquid form and doesn't kill you.
That I was about to suggest a slushy machine.
No, see, a beer slushy would be weird. I don't think that would be nice. But if
A
I
blood
just
orange cider
somehow-
slushy, though.
Oh, fuck me, that would be good, actually, wouldn't it? That would be really
Yeah.
good.
Can you imagine that? Barbecue.
Ooh. Oh,
You
that
might
would be
even get to
very
cook
good.
on it. Who knows?
Yeah, we've had 3 cookouts on that barbecue, and I've not done a single part of it. So, but
Yeah.
mind you, I was quite drunk at the weekend, so it's probably a good thing that Jack took
Yeah, you weren't in the morning, though, were you?
No, that's true. I actually, for someone who drank as much as I did, I feel like I really got away with it on Sunday morning.
Absolutely.
'Cause 2
yeah.
party members threw up, not naming any names, but Jack and Lise. So
Yeah, no, it's good that you've left them with their dignity.
anyway, this is all by the by. So you've forgotten what we were watching. I finished watching these 2 shows earlier on today. Do you want to start with The Society, or do you want to start with Chambers?
Society, the
Okay.
James Society.
So The Society. Let's do it that way around.
Yeah. Well, this is
Okay.
basically, what is it like?
Lord of the Flies.
That's the one. God, I'm not having a good day.
Are you all right? Do you need a coffee or something?
No, because then I won't sleep. I've already had a Red Bull today.
Oh dear. Yes, The Society. Mystery show, like with sort of similar sort of mystery themes as like Lost. There's a big overarching mystery that presumably is going to get solved at some fucking point. I don't really care.
Well, I doubt it's been cancelled.
Well, yeah, well, it might all finish it all up in one series. But essentially, a bunch of school kids are put on school buses, taken away because there's a bad smell in the town, which is weird. And then there's a sort of a blackout. And
I think the trip and the bad smell are unrelated.
Yes, I think so. But that was the reason, like, people were getting funny about it. It was like, there's a bad smell. If you want to leave, that's fine. So there's an unestablished amount of time between them starting the journey on the bus and ending the journey, and they decide that they've been brought back to the hometown. But all the adults and actually everyone else, everyone who wasn't on the bus is on the school trip, has disappeared. And so the kids, being teenagers, descend into sort of debauchery and violence and sex and
Have
drugs
a party
and
in the
alcohol.
church.
Yep. They go mental in a church. And then it all gets very lofty ideas about how this is actually indicative of democratic society, and everyone's supposed to represent other things, and I just stopped giving a shit because fucking hell, the writing in this show.
Yeah, I don't remember huge amounts of specifics,
No.
but
I'll give you an example.
It's only been a week, so I don't think it was good.
I'll give you an example of a scene where I just went, oh, for fuck's sake. So I think, you know how we're big fans of, you know, the narrative devices of show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Every single fucking person says what their motivations are and how they're feeling in any given situation. So there's a scene where there are two sisters, they're getting annoyed with each other. The little one says, the older one starts to leave. And the younger one says, 17 years of being in your shadow and now you just want to leave. And I was like, oh my God, just fucking pack it in. It really wound me up. I really didn't like this show much at all.
Oh, and I remember there's the kid who hates his deaf sibling.
Yeah, that was fucking harsh. There's no reason for that.
Yeah. And you know what's worse? No one stuck up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing, like, it's the same story well, it's basically the same as Lord of the Flies, except
I've not actually read Lord of the Flies, but I know the gist of it.
Well, have you read Under the Dome? Because it's basically the same story.
That's the other thing, is I was watching this thinking, somewhere you're going to watch this and gone, oh, for fuck's sake, don't be fucking aliens.
Well, that's the thing. So it's just a bit...
I just didn't give a shit. Like, this is what I think I'm learning, is when there's a massive overarching mystery like this, you can either do it really, really well, like... I was going to say like Dark does, but it feels more like there's a mystery to the surroundings rather than the characters. I think if there's a mystery in the characters, I don't mind so much. When there's a mystery around a location, I just don't care, because instantly you start to think, well, it's either aliens, an experiment, it's all going on in their head, it's the afterlife. It's one of those things.
Yeah, and I think with something like this, it's less... I find it's like the same thing that I had with Lost, where there's just so many characters.
That is true. There are quite a few.
It's not... I was going to say jarring, but it's not what I mean. Like, it's just there are too many people to try and understand. Whereas if you just sort of went like, okay, well, they were on a Scott, you just follow like one character or one like
a couple
one
of
family of characters or something.
Yeah.
And just kind of go, oh look, they went on the bus. The bus came home. They went home. Mum, Dad, nobody's home. They didn't go to the party in the church because that's fucking weird. And then you just see them interact with people. You don't get everyone's story. And like you could jump from like family of characters to family of characters every like episode or something, but trying to throw it all in at once and be like, give a shit about one of these storylines, please.
Yeah, it does feel like, they were just throwing as much as they could at the wall and just saw what stuck.
And then someone got bit by a snake.
Oh yeah, and then fucking died. Yeah, I forgot about that. See? So much going on. I forgot about one of the biggest denouements in the entire thing. And that actually leads to the big confrontation about, okay, so now we need to form a democracy, and then the guy with the gun shows up and he's like, or I can just sort of do what I want. And then it goes into a big old, very worthy speech. And I think, I wonder, again, obviously this isn't made for us. I think this is made for
Idiots.
Young teenagers.
Know what I said.
Also, just I have to get this in. Very strange to hear West Ham described as like, oh well, it's a very posh area. I was like, that's really weird.
Yeah. And I've just read like the first line of the episode, the synopsis for episode 2. Solar eclipse darkens the sky.
Oh, really?
Gordy hypnotizes they're in a parallel universe.
Oh man, it's taking bits from just loads of other shows. Like the eclipse. The whole thing about Heroes is that it's the eclipse that starts everything off. Oh, there was a show that really was victim to the writer's strike and just went off the rails, which is a shame. So I loved that show. Do you know what I'm going to do? You know what happens when we have a show like this that we don't like? We always read what happens in the last.
Yeah, it's
last
unresolved, as far as I can tell.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely not gonna watch this. But I thought also,
Do you know what they could have done that would have been cool?
what's that?
Not to entirely cut you off, but to do exactly that.
No, please carry on.
If halfway through episode 1, right, they'd given you this like scene of just teenagers doing teenage things when they realise that they're alone, then just jumping a decade and being like, so they've been on their own for a while and here's what's up.
I wouldn't mind that, actually. I think that's kind of what Yellow Jackets goes on to do, because I've always
I knew
really,
I got the idea from somewhere.
I really like shows that do big time jumps. Like, I really like it. I don't know why, but yeah,
it's because it gives you a middle bit to
possibly.
not understand.
Yes, but to be like, it's connecting the dots is. I wonder if it's just probably it's a bit more satisfying connecting the dots rather than just going, it's an open-ended mystery. It could be anything. It really genuinely made me feel like they hadn't made up their mind as to what it was. Like in the later series of Lost, like they were just throwing everything week to week to just keep you guessing.
It's like, I guess they haven't decided maybe early on who makes it. Because that's the thing, if you were doing like a big time jump, you have to commit quite early on to seeing like which characters aren't or are the cunts that make it.
Yeah. Well, that's why pre-production is the most important part of the process.
Yeah. But then it wasn't
So you
until
get that
they saw
shit
Aaron
right.
Paul on Breaking Bad that he wasn't just dead in season 1.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. That's a very good point. I thought there's a couple of moments where the score, it invokes Angelo Badalamenti's Twin Peaks score, and I think you absolutely do that at your peril, because if you're trying to reference a mystery as odd and weird as Twin Peaks in your music, you better start bringing the weird stuff early doors. But I just think it was trying to... I don't think that was necessarily the best thing to do, is invoke another huge mystery show in that way, because inevitably you're going to get compared to it, and actually what we've realised is Twin Peaks way better than Society.
Yeah. Well, I think almost what they wanted to do is something like a Skins with No Limits. Like that sort of just teenagers being their wildest selves.
I don't think it's as mucky as Skins. Skins I remember being like really minging and dirty. I don't think this has that filth.
Well, it's
element.
American.
Yeah,
so
well,
it can't
of
be.
course.
But yeah, I don't think it had anything that made me want to be, or even consider like an episode 2 would be worth my time.
Yeah. Oh well. I tell you, actually, I will say this of the Society. I do think the cast is quite diverse, and the fact that you've got a deaf actor in a very prominent role, that's obviously always to be congratulated. However, that should just be a prerequisite. It's not something that should make something stand out.
It's just a shame
worth
that they
noticing.
wasted it.
I thought he was a very good actor, actually.
Oh, no,
I thought
like,
his
yeah, no,
performance
true.
is
I think it's
probably
just-
the best.
It's just wasted on this show.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Partially because it's been cancelled, and partially because like it wasn't that great. The thing, maybe it had the potential to be good, but I don't. Without massive changes to it, I don't think I'd have enjoyed it.
Oh, there's quite a few big like character deaths in it.
Deaths don't make it interesting. It's like the journey to the death.
Mm.
That's why I like your offer of a wheelchair off a cliff. That sounds like an interesting trip. And there's no way you're pushing me up a hill.
should we move on to Chambers?
Yeah. I mean, we can have a little interlude where we talk about how much Scream content I consumed last week.
Oh my god, you just went mental on it. You watched a whole bunch of them, didn't you?
Well, I watched 5 and 6, and then we played the Scream game
That was good fun.
on Sunday.
I enjoyed that game.
Yeah, it's not the most hangover-friendly game.
No.
Because
No,
it
but
is
I think it helped.
stressful.
Because we all performed quite well under it, and the two of us who were suffering more than anyone, Lisa and Jack, by that point, they were firing all cylinders after a couple of games.
Yeah, but then Jack relapsed.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
He did go very, very suddenly downhill in the afternoon again.
Yeah. But that game was great.
I really enjoyed that game. That's very good. Fair play, Funko. That's
What
not a
I
bad
really
game.
enjoy is the way that we did genuinely play it till we won one and then just put it away.
It's like, yep, never playing it again. We've completed it. We don't need to.
But yeah, I think I'm quite interested in the fact that they had the app to control it, and that you get like a little ghost face call in, and like I think it's a really nice touch. I don't think the game would have worked without it.
No, I think you're absolutely right. What would be cool is now with some integration of like AI, you could get more sort of personalised messages from him. So if it did like a
What, you
text
put in
to
your
speak
name
thing,
and like a fear.
yeah, you put in like a few, you just put in a few details about yourself, like yeah, and then it would, you know, if it could speak your name and stuff like that. Obviously, first thing you do, you change your name to Willie just to hear him say Willie.
Yeah. Do you reckon if you put your player name as characters from Scream, if it does anything weird?
Oh, that would be funny.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that. But I think what I so genuinely found quite weird is we've played a lot of like horror themed games, but I've never actually played a game that's horror themed that has actually built tension in the way that like it feels not like you're not scared for your life.
You're not scared, but
like,
you feel the time pressure.
Yeah, you're very much like fucking we have to fucking get going. Jack, it's your turn. Jack, it's your turn. Like, and that's a weird sensation for a board game to be able to pull up.
Yes. It is a really good board game. I think someone got in touch with me actually saying that they'd play tested it. And I was like, that's actually quite cool. But yeah,
But did they win?
I assume so. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Because you know, it is tricky, and I think we had exactly the right number of people, because
I think more would be too hectic
and
and less would be
too difficult.
stressful.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of too stressful,
Chambers.
yeah,
This is by far and away the more interesting of the two shows to me.
I don't know what you mean. It starts with a young lady having a heart attack.
I think also just because there's like that very the stormy horizon, it makes you think. I don't know. It's nothing like overtly supernatural has happened just yet. I don't think, but just having the stormy background, just as the backdrop to everything, it really feels quite eerie. I really, really enjoyed this. I really, really liked Chambers. I thought it was great.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it as well. It reminded me of. Have you seen The Eye?
The Jessica Alba
Yeah.
horror movie. I haven't, but I know that I feel like that's a remake of a Japanese horror film. I think. I'm just gonna
almost absolutely is.
because it was around that time of like 2000s horror movies that have been adapted. Here we go. Yep, it is a remake of the Pang Brothers 2002 film of the same name. Hong Kong Singaporean horror film, not a Japanese one.
Yeah, well, blind lady gets eye transplant and then suddenly she can see dead people.
Ah, okay.
So similar sort of thing, except in Chambers,
It's the heart.
it's the heart and it's a haunting. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
And I absolutely did not even notice that Uma Thurman was in it.
Did you not?
No, I think genuinely maybe that engrossed in it that I just didn't clock.
Fair play. I mean, yeah, I think her performance in it is pitched absolutely perfectly, because she's every single line she manages to sound like she is on the verge of tears. At any given opportunity, it's all gonna go wrong. And
Yeah.
I really liked this show, like, a lot.
I also mate that like the development of some of the characters over the season is going to be quite unhinged, possibly.
Yes, I feel like, yeah, particularly again, Uma Thurman's character. There's something bubbling away just under the surface. She's just managing to keep a lid on everything, but she could explode at any given moment. That's 100% how I feel about her.
Which I think is just because I think the hints underneath are that like something weird has happened to the donor whose name is
Becky.
cool. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Oh yeah, the description of her death when she's in school. Oh, she had this old radio that fell in the shower with her, and she was electrocuted to death. That's very suspect.
Yeah,
very strange.
If you take a radio into the shower, that fucker's got batteries.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So
yeah,
do you know what
if
I would
it said
love?
like, oh, she fucking loves her toast and she got in the shower with a toast, I'd be like, yeah, that bitch is dead. And I think
and also
might
deserves it. I tell you what, I would absolutely love this to do.
Also, how'd you get electrocuted? Oh, that's a point in the show, isn't it? How'd you get electrocuted and still have a working heart?
Yes. Well, that adds to the. Well, how the fuck does this work then?
I think that's the little first little glimmer of mystery.
Yeah, or like something's gone on here. What I would love this to turn into is some absolutely bonkers thing where it turns out that Uma Thurman and Nancy and Ben, the parents of Becky, have gotten in touch because they've heard this is a way to bring her back by some mad ritual that it doesn't actually show its hand until like episode 10, and then goes, yep, it's a bonkers show about a cult. I would fucking love for it to be that.
What, and then it ends?
Yeah, it was cancelled this one again, wasn't it? So
Yeah. Well, it cancelled in 2019, so I'm assuming it doesn't say COVID had anything to do with it, but it's always possible.
in June 2019, the series was cancelled after one season. So,
or unless
yeah,
it is
unlikely.
actually just fucking nuts, and everyone just
Yeah.
went, "What the fuck are you doing?" And
I am intrigued. I really, really am. Oh, this is very interesting. So, directing 2 episodes is Ty West, who you might not initially know straight away, but Ty West makes very, very slow burn horror movies.
I
And
recognise
he
the
also
name.
did.
Name a film.
So he's done. So most recently, he's done X and Pearl.
Oh, they're on
and-
my to watch list.
Oh, they're all right. I didn't initially like X to start with, but I think going back to it, I probably like X a bit more than I thought.
Isn't there a
Haven't seen
third one
Pearl.
coming out soon?
Yes, called Maxine, which is set in the 80s, I think. But he also did The House of the Devil. I've not actually seen, but he also did The Innkeepers, which is a really odd little film, but it's a laugh, that one. So it's interesting that he's been brought on to do these ones. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
he also
very
did an
strange.
episode of Scream.
Yes, and Them, which is a horror show on Amazon Prime, which I actually I found it too upsetting to watch.
Oh,
Like, it was-
really?
Yeah, it was genuinely. I was like, oh,
Did you
this
finish
is-
it?
No, I watched the
Oh.
first episode, and I was like, this is actually like to the point where it wasn't fun. Like, I was like, this is really, really upsetting. I might give it another go. Actually, I forgot about that.
Yeah. What I want to do is beat you to finish. Not because I can, but I just want to finish a horror show that you couldn't finish. So that I can
do-
lord over you in your horror podcast.
It's a lot about. Didn't we do it? Did we not do it for the podcast?
No, I don't think we have.
It's a black family who moves to like an all-white neighborhood, and then it's just, it you can imagine it's in the 50s, and it's just fucking horrible.
That does sound horrible.
Are you
But
sure we didn't do it for the podcast? I definitely
pretty
had seen the
sure.
first episode, and I wondered if it was because of that, but maybe not.
I'll have a look through the list.
But yeah, like Chambers it's really good. Do you know what is really nice? Is the relationship between her and her boyfriend.
Yeah. It's
It's-
very.
it's-
It's like.
They're quite sweet, actually. Like, and he's quite nice. It's quite nice to have a teen show where they just have a nice couple that get on and aren't dickheads to each other.
Yeah. And he's obviously very like, oh fuck, after the whole heart transplant thing. Which I think I get.
Fair.
But it's really
Um,
like, because I feel like a lot of other shows would just see him either leave her afterwards and then turn into like the bully.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's just absolutely, it doesn't seem like there's any bullying at the school she goes to, which I don't understand as a ginger person.
Yeah, but you brought that on yourself. So.
Yeah, which I think it's just really cool. It's like, it is just looks like a nice place to grow up. Apart from the weird murder cult that's clearly lives there. But I think I'm probably going to watch more of it. So I've just remembered it's on Netflix, so I don't have to pay for it.
Well, I mean, you do pay for it, but not
Well.
like on its own.
Yeah, but I'm not paying for just that. I can just watch it on its own, which I think I will do. And I'm sure you'll add it to the list of things that you're never going to watch.
Yeah. I would, but I think Cruel Summer is going to be the thing that I have to go through
Yes.
next. Once
Yes.
we've
Yes.
finished Feel Good, we're then going to go through Cruel Summer because that
Also,
was a
yes. I'm so excited for you to finish something.
I finished a couple of things on my holiday. I read 3 books, 3.5 books. The author of which I am interviewing on Thursday for the Spooky Shelf, which is very
very cool.
exciting. Finished the Ed Sheeran documentary. Finished Feel Good Season 1. Finished Beef. And Marianne, obviously, as you know.
Yes.
And I watched a film out there as well. So, I
that's
did
very
do some
nice.
stuff. I think that's it, really, on Chambers. That was actually another point that something that you said reminded me of this. Where we were criticising the society for having a mystery surrounding too many characters, this is a perfect example of a mystery that is around, a very small cast of characters. Like, largely, it's around Sasha
Yeah.
and Becky and their relationship. But, and there are obviously people between, but it is large. That's the mystery to solve, is what's happened to this person rather than what's happened to this place, which I think is probably harder to pull off. But
Yeah, I think it's a much it's a much smaller cast, and it's all how they interact with one person, which is really
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I think it's very, very cool fun.
yeah,
like-
not bad. Chambers.
I say very cool fun, like just have a heart attack. But like after that and before the culty stuff, very good fun. I'm just assuming there's a cult.
That's the thing, is what I'm realizing is I would just always like there to be a cult. Like, I love stuff about secret societies, like control.
Bought a house, found a secret basement. Oh, no, it'd be cool if there was a cult. Also, I'm mostly extrapolating the fact that I think there's a cult from the thumbnail on
Netflix.
because it's just a group of people in
hoods?
what look like ghost masks, not ghost
Oh, okay.
masks, like goat masks,
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's always a surefire indicator.
and they're all wearing like white tunics, and they're in a cave, and it's a bit red,
Yeah, sounds like
as
a
opposed to
cult.
the society, which is just a picture of a girl.
Still could be a cult.
Well, that's the thing, like they're obviously forming a cult. I just hope they drink the Kool-Aid in episode 2.
Yeah.
What are we doing next?
I was just looking at this. It's another 2 shows that I've not heard of.
I'm assuming that these are either teenage girly shows, or some sort of spookified teenage girl shows.
Behind Her Eyes looks like some sort of thriller.
Ooh.
Tell Me Your Secrets, meanwhile, looks like some sort of psychological thriller.
I think what seems.
Oh my god. Okay. Immediately, Tell Me Your Secrets has won. It includes a cast member from Midnight Mass, so it's automatically won.
Right, cool. We'll just skip that week.
Yep. So what's after? Again, like I always say, the shows that I've not heard of are the ones that I enjoy the most. So I'm looking forward to next.
Yeah.
Next
Well,
week's
what's
recording.
good is because there's a writer strike and soon to be an actor strike, we're going to have to dive into the archives a bit.
Yeah. We might have to start
Probably
like
next
reviewing paintings and stuff. We're going to run out of shit to review.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. I've got a big stack of board games we can just play.